Welcome in, everyone. Today is 1/11/2024, and we are going to kind of go over this is a Discord trade idea. We had CPI today, so we had a trade idea on SPY and QQQ, so can kind of go over what went on in Discord today. This wasn't a public idea, so this is going to be a public video as well, though, just kind of for people to see what goes on in here. So starting out here, so this is our morning here. So we had CPI come out. I'm going to actually touch on the numbers here first. So obviously you can see our core month over month came in flat, came in right at consensus. Our year over year had a small uptick, but still down from last month. Our top line, which includes food and energy, little uptick here, and uptick from last month, a little bit above consensus, obviously. And our year over year came in at 3.4, up from 3.1. Consensus was 3.2. So this was my trade idea with that. So we're going to go back to Discord here. We're going to kind of hop around a little bit here. But so this was our morning briefing. This is tonight, so we're going to kind of hide that a little bit. So I had a deeper breakdown on CPI, which I'll kind of pull up here. This was public also, but I kind of went over the data here. You can take a peek if you want to read it, pause the video or whatever. But the one thing that I noticed is the best part of this report was that core still showed that slight drop. So again, I'm going to pop up here. Here is your core inflation rate for year over year. Obviously, we were still above consensus, but we were still down a bit from last month. So looking at that here on the chart, obviously you can see we are trending down. Oops. We're trending down here still and bumping that out to the 5-year chart as well. Let me switch that over to the column. Obviously, this is at the peak of when inflation was rampant. So you can see we're obviously trending down there a little bit. Let me throw that trend line in. It's not going to do it there. So go back to the 1 year. Obviously, from a year ago in January, big decrease in there. We're still roughly about 2 times what the Fed are looking for. They want 2% for core, obviously. So this was the silver lining. Obviously, there's still a little drop in there, but inflation is still very sticky. So back to Discord here. So I said that was our good part of the data. So my idea was I wanted to fade a hard rally here. So let me pull up the day trade idea here. So day trade. So my day trade idea here was we had 2 rejection levels for SPY and QQQ. SPY was 477.54. QQQ was 411.92. So obviously these can be 0 to 1 day expirations on here. So let's actually pull up the chart now here. So 477.55, and I did end up putting a note out right before open. I'll come back here. Obviously, if we open above, the idea would be a momentum entry down, and kind of put this out right before open because we kind of ran back up. So as you can see, obviously this is before open, and I'm Central Time for those that don't know. But we came up and we opened right here, and again, the idea was a breakdown. So if you got in here, I mean, that was still good. You're not going to stop out. And so in our triggered trade notes area, so here we are. I was like, we're above SPY here, waiting for that break back below. So I took the 476 put here. So I'll show everybody the contract movement. So my idea was, so we had that silver lining part of the CPI data. So my idea was, okay, well, maybe the market's going to overreact at first about the kind of hotter CPI print, sticky inflation. So I was expecting maybe a quick little sell off here in the morning. So, and obviously, as you can see, this, bring that back here. good rejection level spot here. Obviously, you can see we're pretty much at all-time highs here on SPY, so good rejection level. I tend to kind of stick away from pre-market when you have all that extra data in there and not a lot of volume here. Obviously, we weren't seeing a lot of volume here in the morning because of CPI. Everybody was waiting for the print. So here is our trigger here. So I actually I scratched the idea after this, and again, being smart, that was a smart idea with that silver lining of seeing core come down a little bit. And we had a couple Fed speakers on deck as well. So I was like, okay, we'll play it safe, get a quick scalp. Obviously, we had a bigger return. It's okay, happens. But let's look at this small little trade here. So our trigger time would have been about 8:31 when we broke back under 8:32, and we were looking at that 476 put. So let me pull that up. I will do the 1 day. I went 1 day out. So here's your contract. Reset this to today. Come back up right here. So here is your 831, and this was a very, very quick scalp. So you could have got in here. We'll go with the high end here. So about 92. Well, can even say 1, just depending if you got a bad fill. And we topped out at 14 there. So, I mean, even if you got a horrible fill, you should have secured at least 14%. I mean, you're getting over there, you probably would have got in about 20. I mean, you come in here, 90 to 112, that's really good. And obviously the idea was right on, because we got in about 90 and then could have got up to 324, 385 for if you held them. I know people like to be more aggressive and hold a little longer, but my idea was take that quick, dump it open just with the hot report, and then kind of as the day went on, my idea was kind of just back off, let the market do its thing. And yeah, I mean, it was just kind of a slow little grind up here the rest of the day. And I mean, that small little drop there, good trade idea, quick. Obviously, we could have captured more there. It's okay. You're not going to ever exit at the top hardly. Taking consistent, and I was talking about this in the group today too as well. You don't need to hit those 300, 400% home runs. It's very rare that you do that. If you can put 20 to 30% trades together on a consistent basis, you will be very happy versus waiting for those big 500% home run trades. So let me move over to QQQ. Obviously, we didn't trigger here, so I don't have to really recap anything. Missed this one by about 70 cents. It's okay. So, but it's kind of just a little trade recap there on that stuff, and see what else I wanted to show you. So I actually got filled at 90 there, so very good thing. My stop, I was a little late on my stop. I don't like 12%, but as I'm trying to put out notes as well too, I'm trying to kind of manage my stops and stuff. So if I take a less percent, not a big deal, but kind of just how our day went. And let's see. So, and also we had our CPI. So kind of the good parts on here. So obvious, this is our claims data. So our good parts, I mean, this was our CPI print. Obviously seeing a decline in stuff. We're not going up as much, but kind of our breakdown here. I'm not going to dive into this full thing here, but you can see this on Twitter. It's posted on Twitter, but otherwise that's kind of all I wanted. I just want to kind of go over the trade idea a little quick, just since I haven't been able to put out any flow videos this week, just with the lighter flow, and we kind of going into the longer weekend as well, which was kind of expected with the obviously CPI, PPI, and then the long weekend and earnings coming up. Didn't see a lot of flow, so couldn't put out a video. So I did a trade recap for everybody. But otherwise, that's kind of all I have tonight. Just a quick recap of everything for everyone. So, hope it, and yeah, keep that in mind. It's a long weekend this weekend. Closed on Monday for Martin Luther King Day. So, everybody enjoy your long weekend and study up and all that. Have a great weekend, everyone.